Hello everybody, welcome to Season 2 of Lyoko. Now this video was supposed to be up like maybe 2-3 weeks after the first one. However, it took a lot longer because of real life things and trying to do a bunch of other things. And just the fact that I've been watching, the show very, very slowly. So, yeah, okay, so we're talking about the Season 2. It's not as meme-worthy as Season 1, unfortunately. But there are quite a few more things to say about it. So let's just go begin the usual, ratings and rankings and stuff for Season 2. So, Season 2 starts with has a lot of lore, especially related to Aelita and the Hermitage and Franz Hopper and how all three are connected and how Xana's connected to all of it. So, I like the fact that this is actually how the story is going to be about. Like, the mystery of the supercomputer of Xana of Aelita. So, and yeah, things get kind of good, but however, the show is mostly still episodic. Granted, there's still a lot more, continuity bits than Season 1, so there is still a story there. There's still some progression going on. It's just that, you can't really tell at first glance, aside from, maybe a line or two about, continuity. So, that's cool and all. But I still like more actual an actual arc going on, actual progression of the show. There's still some in the show. It's just that most of it just near the beginning and the end of it, and maybe little slightly bits straight in the middle of it. But for right now, let's go talk about my favorite episode. Now I have two in mind. Now granted, none of these I would consider a really great episode, in my opinion. But I do think that Episode 5, Mr. Puck, and Episode 8, Missing Link, are pretty decent. Especially more the former. So I'm going to talk about that. And that is, the first real episode where things start to get a little bit interesting. Something that these get interesting. And how the Hermitage, the whole Hermitage, and, well, that was not the first episode with the Hermitage. But, it shows that maybe something might be up in this. It's even though the episode's called Mr. Puck, the actual Mr. Puck, it's kind of a small bit of it. It's just a little elf or leprechaun doll. So, that Aelita had, dreams about, in the beginning of that episode. Now, that particular episode, when I saw the episode title had an umlaut in the U, so I thought I pronounced it differently, but no, it's just Puck. But yeah, it's interesting. It's you tell a kind of episode that, wait a minute, if Aelita knows exactly where the doll is, how is she, just a computer program who just so happens to be alive? So it does show, maybe Aelita, this is more to Aelita and the Hermitage than what meets the eye initially. I mean, granted, the first episode shows the Hermitage and how interesting, the setting is and how Aelita's linked to it. But also, I like with the episode is that there are quite a lot of, interesting bits. I just want to say interesting bits, and we'll get to that, when we get to the favorite moments section. And for the episode Missing Link, now, granted, there's some parts of the episode I did like, and it's mainly due to, why is Yumi the victim in this? And yes, this is part of the, I'll mention this in the favorite moment section, but it's not that as bad as other things that I kind of don't like. But yeah, the interesting bit about it is that, since Yumi's missing, the rest of the team has to do something to accommodate for the fact that Yumi's just somehow missing. And, yeah, some hilarious nonsense occurs. And I'd like some hilarious nonsense. For a hated episode, now, I have two in mind, but none of them are that bad. It's just, less than interesting. One of them is Episode 10, Marabunta, but that's mainly because of like the whole obviousness of how bad things will go. Like you think that, oh hey, Jeremy found a way to like create his own little army, to defend against Xana before, while the kids are still doing some school things. But obviously, take it from Ants no less. And I watched a lot of Ants Canada to know like some of the terminology going on. But yeah, it was obvious from the get-go things will get really bad. And also, episode 19, Cold War. And Cold War, and it's blizzard and everything, because Xana initiated like a blizzard somehow. And the reason why that's considered a hated episode, not hated episode, it's just kind of boring. Because like it has like the least amount of text I put into my thoughts, my written thoughts on Patreon. So if you want to see all of my individual episode notes, my written notes about the entire show, go to my Patreon. It's available for all patrons, so you go donate $1 and you just see all of it. Anyway, plug out of the way. Let's go move on to favorite and hated characters. Now, okay, I'm gonna bring up William now because he is a very important character to the show. He's gonna be main character status, but he hasn't gone there yet. But he's pretty up there. And even though I knew it's gonna be like an important character, I can't tell whether it's gonna be a favorite character or a hated character, just like Jim from last season. And the reason it's because of William that other characters that would normally like are gone down in rankings for the main characters. But he's just too interesting of a character. He's like the most the character with the most presence in season 2, starting from season 2. Is what I'm saying. Like, he's like the season 2 character. But the character, okay, this may sound kind of weird, but I'm going for another villain character. For my favorite character, even though this character does not debut in season 2, this character it actually gets quite interesting in season 2, and that is the character of Xana. Now you're wondering, wait, Xana's a character? Xana's not a character. Xana is like a computer like program. And it's like a virus, and it's like being evil and stuff, and it doesn't even show up as a character itself. But no, think about it for a second, okay? So yes, in last season, Xana's been really nothing more than just the problem of the day, and the stuff that have the main group having to deal with it. Dealing with all of the major disruption of the area. Or in the world even. But this season gives a lot of insights onto what exactly Xana, not just what Xana is, the motivations of Xana. So like, yes, like the end goal of Xana is to, in the words of Ilita in the last episode. Yeah. But the season in general gives you like how he operates, how Xana operates. Because you can tell in some episodes, Xana has helped the main group, especially in, let's say, Marabunta. Xana actually helps out the main characters. Why? Because Xana values preservation over anything else. So, because the whole thing, Xana really wants Eileen's memories. Because, like, Xana actually needs memories to escape the supercomputer. And that's kind of the main spoiler of the season. The whole, like, Xana needs to escape the supercomputer, unless they be disconnected from the supercomputer, but needs Eileen's memories to do so. However, in the meantime, Xana really wants to preserve itself just so it can further its goals, even if it means helping out the main group. Like, for example, like, actually actively helping out the main group. Like, even, like, leaving the scene when it's apparent that, like, maybe trying to PK, player kill, it's being a valid strategy, and just leaves it alone. Or even just actually breaks into, like, a truck containing uranium rods and actually replacing the dying uranium rod powering the supercomputer. The supercomputer is nuclear powered. What the heck? point is, and just helping and even kidnapping Jeremy, because Jeremy is like happens to know how to do this thing, how to actually insert the uranium rod. It's like, yeah, it's actually actively helping out the main group for the preservation, and then actually when the preservation is finished, when it doesn't need to preserve itself, then it goes on to the attack. So this is what I mean by the character of Xana. I don't know if we're going to see more of the character of Xana, or just going to be more of the destructive force that's known as Season 1 and Season 3. But for right now, we move on to my hated character, which is a one-off character named Thomas Vincent, a.k.a. TV, from the episode Cold War, because he's a douchebag. That's it. It's a douchebag to his, like, camera woman, and, like, just to everyone else. Just a douchebag. I got nothing more to say. Anyway, time for the main character rankings. So, yeah, there's been quite a big changes into the main character rankings. So, and again, it's mainly because of other characters like they're present in the season. But here we go. The main character rankings are from best to worst, in order: Odd, Jeremy, Aelita, Yumi, Ulrich. Jeez, Ulrich, why are you still bad? Yeah, and Ulrich and Yumi are both, like, down. Yumi went from my favorite main character season 1 to my 4th. Entirely because of William. And not just because of William, and how William, and to a tangent, and to a certain extent Sissy, have been, like, interrupting and, just messing with the relationship that Ulrich and Yumi have. Both Ulrich and Yumi, they are only, like, slightly aware they're into each other, just never admit it. Especially on Ulrich's side, Ulrich will never admit that he's in love with Yumi. Even though everyone else, even tells him to his face that they know about it. And, like, it's just like, Ulrich, you're literally the only person who is not aware of your own relationship. Get on with it. It's really annoying, and it bleeds into Yumi, too. But the main reason Yumi is down all these slots is not just because of William. It's because several episodes, and I'm just saying this, in several episodes, not just one, where they put her as the victim of a problem. Like, for example, like Yumi just somehow not getting out of, the scanner, or, switching places, or being, like, fake sick or something. It is like, why is it always Yumi? It's kind of annoying. Why, is Yumi so good of a character last season that to put this season to put her, like, put her down a lot? Meanwhile, the other three have gone pretty well, but mostly because of Yumi going down so much that the other three have gone up a slot each. Like, Odd is so far being a very cool character. I do like his antics, his absolute burns, and the absolute burns given to him. It is like it is absolutely great. Jeremy, same thing. Jeremy's getting a lot snarkier, and it's pretty good, pretty cool. Aelita, same thing. Like where like if you get burned by Jeremy or Aelita, then you know something's up. Then you know something's wrong. Then you know that this is actually a really good joke, because those two don't actually joke around that much. But, like, when they do, it's pretty cool. I also do really like Aelita, like, in the one episode, I think called Final Mix, if Sir Keenan Parts reference here, that she's actually apparently good with, being, like, a DJ. I wish that character trait of her being good with music, or good, like, music technology, continues on later seasons. I don't know if they do, but for the purpose of Season 2, they don't. And Jeremy, like, trying to be, the absolute unit that he is. However, sometimes things go wrong for him, especially when the fake friends, calls him out, hey, it's your fault that all these things happen. But, like, yeah, we'll get to that into the hidden moments. But yeah, as it stands, Odd is now my favorite character in Lyoko. Because I want to say I like Sissy. Like, because when Nice Sissy comes up, and Nice Sissy comes up sometimes in Season 2, but when Nice Sissy comes, she's my favorite character. But like when Sissy is still in her Queen Bee Snooty form, it's odd. Anyway, my favorite and least favorite moments. So let's go start with one. So speaking of odd, Odd says something that didn't expect to show up, and in that episode specifically, Bro decided to show up and watch some episodes because he was in the, I think he's in the middle of doing something where he was bored, so he just happened to be in the room at the time and started watching episodes, especially early season 2. That's what we saw early season 2. And Oz says this.
It must have something to do with sex appeal.
Yeah, right, I'm sure of that.
And Bro said to me, is this a kid's show? His words. Because you would expect, this is supposed to be a kid's show, and, Oz says sex appeal. How do kids know what sex appeal is, especially back in 2004 or 5? Like, I believe in a different episode, Sissy says, how Ulrich's saying that, oh, Yumi wears black and is not as, and then Sissy says,
yeah, but she doesn't dress like that. She always wears black, and her dresses are longer and less sexy.
Next thing, so in episode 6, where Aelita was randomly given a necklace for Valentine's Day, and nobody knows who actually sent it. Aelita assumed it's Jeremy who sent it, but it wasn't him, and it's like Ulrich if he did it, and I think Ulrich denied it. And when he asked Odd if he sent the necklace, Odd says this.
Odd, the necklace. It wasn't you, was it?
Do I have to remind you that Aelita is supposed to be my cousin?
Dang it, Odd! That is literally the response I would do, cause Odd is a skirt chaser, but even he is above fake incest. It's not real incest, but you get the idea. But yeah, I think out of all of them, I think that is one of my favorites moments of season 2, more than the others I'm gonna mention later. In episode 8, another odd moment. I'm gonna call this based odd. So for those who know about the based Cosmo meme,
No! You have a perfect civilization! Why would you want to add a woman to it?
Girls, you leave him alone for 5 minutes and it's mess after mess after mess.
yeah. I just find that hilarious. The only thing I had in mind it was that based Cosmo meme. So in episode 14, this is the zombie apocalypse episode. So I noticed a certain reference, and it's not it's probably just a generic horror reference, but imagine this, right? A very underage girl takes a shower, and we won't see up to here of the girl, the underage girl, obviously because it's a kid's show, and even if it wasn't a kid's show, it'd be kind of creepy. And there's some sort of looming animal sort of thing, or looming thing that's about to get her, but it has supernatural power. Maybe you're about to do some bad things to her. Wait a minute, I've seen this in JoJo. It's that scene in Stardust Crusaders, early Stardust Crusaders, where the tag-along character Anne takes a shower in the boat, and then I don't know if it was a gorilla or orangutan. I think it's orangutan with the stand. I think the stand's called Strength, or is the monkey called Strength? But whatever, this is the stand called Strength. So the orangutan comes in, and it's about to very creepy, right in her face. Again, underage girl taking a shower, and may or may not do bad things to her, but the girl's safe. That is indeed what I call a JoJo reference. Anyway, at the next episode, the following episode, so Nice Sissy appeared in episode 15. Quite a big showing of Nice Sissy. And near the end of that episode, I just see that Ulrich was fighting some things, and then Nice Sissy showed up and was asking if she would forget if she should forget or remember everything that happens during the time skip. Ulrich is saying that she won't remember, but he would. And then Sissy.
Okay, then you'll remember this kiss.
like a boss, kissed Ulrich, knowing that he will remember it, and Odd was there too.
You can go ahead, Einstein.
I wonder which would be worse, being blind or having to see this.
So that is a 5-head move, Sissy. Like more 5-head than your actual head. So like it may be out of spite. It's not out of spite though, but it like if you think about it in hindsight, it would be out of spite, or out of like making Ulrich remember about Sissy's kiss. And and the funny thing is that like that scene, that kiss, actually goes into like I think the episode after this, where Yuri was wondering like what's the thing that's going on with you and Sissy? What's going on? And it's just like a very like plus 10 respect move for nice Sissy. Anyway, for the hated moments of the season, okay, I'm just gonna say this. I didn't say this is my hated character segment because it's not a character, it is an enemy. And it is that jellyfish that I refuse to name. I know what it's called. And I could just go to the wiki and read what it's and like what it's pronounced and what it's spelled. But I refuse to name it. Because that thing occurs so often. Like, I know the whole point of this season is that Xana wants Idea's memories, but why does like Xana have like an invincible jellyfish, an invincible floating jellyfish that just like shows up more often than not? Oh, I'm gonna take the memory and I'm gonna find ways to isolate Alita from everyone else. There in comes the jellyfish. Hey, if Alita's separated from the main group for just a little bit, in comes the jellyfish. Hey, and Ulrich is fighting my other enemies. They're all in the open. They can see everything. In comes a jellyfish from midair. So, and the latter part is one with a clip I'm going to mention right now.
What's up, bitches?
So yeah, and for the thing is like almost every time that the jellyfish shows up, I wrote in my notes, "Here we go again." And the thing is, I remember the first time it shows up, my brother was there, and like he was complaining that guy, that enemy, shows up all the time. It got very annoying, and I don't blame him because it actually does show up a lot, and it's very annoying. Like I know that's the primary objective of Xana, but why just a singular monster? Like it's kind of invincible. Oh, you cut off the tentacles. Now it can't do anything. Oh, then why don't you just program the tentacles to instantly grow back or something? I don't even know. Wouldn't matter. No, but like, why is it invincible? Like the one enemy that it wants to be, it's invincible. But yeah, that was annoying. But you know what else was annoying? The English dub, thinking that the setting is not set in France. I still don't like that. We got another mention of that again, and to this scene in episode 14.
What do you think of your father's decision to set up a language exchange program with France? Our readers want to know. So
I went to Netflix again for this one. By the way, I didn't mention this at all, but I watched the entire thing on YouTube. I had an Amazon Fire TV for months, and I never actually used it because it was just sitting around in one of my other TVs downstairs that no one's using. Then bro decided to use it, and I told him, hey, can I use that instead? And so now it's currently in my possession. Heck, it's in my Amazon Prime account, so technically, legally, it belongs to me. So, anyway, point is, I went back to Netflix itself, and I turned on the Spanish subtitles, because I know that just listening to the French won't help me. And so, I looked at the Spanish subtitles, the European Spanish, the Castilian one, and it mentions instead of having a exchange program with France, it's an exchange program with England. And I was like, oh, that makes sense now. Because you can't really say there's an exchange program with England if you're speaking English. So that makes more sense now. I mean, granted, like, isn't the show originally meant for, you know, Canada, US, and not just France? Or maybe it's also meant to air in UK, and the original dub is in UK. Wouldn't it make sense for it to exchange program with Ireland? Because, you know, given UK and Ireland, it's nonsense. But yeah, so still kind of annoying that the show takes place in France. There's even an episode where Ulrich flips, flips a €1 coin. Now you know it can't. It has to be in the European Union, and UK was in the European Union at the time, so you could make that argument. But it's in France. Anyway, next up. An embarrassing moment. Not too embarrassing. It's kind of weird. So there's an episode where Odd and Yumi switch bodies, because of course it's Yumi. Yeah, they switch bodies for a good, like, day. Include, like, day and night. And you can probably tell Odd and Yumi aren't exactly, you know, any sort of similar to each other. And while hilarious nonsense do ensue, this moment is just embarrassing enough.
Everything's very bad.
I mean, why does Yumi have those clothing? Doesn't Yumi always wear black? Doesn't, like, in the previous episode always, you know, says to Sissy trying to wear a Yumi costume that, you know, Yumi only wears black. Why does Odd not remember that? But then again, it makes Odd just being Odd kind of crazy, silly dude. Anyway, last thing I'm going to mention for a moment I do not like. So, I mentioned before about a fake Franz in episode 23. He was, like, berating Jeremy for, like, being the reason why everything, you know, why everything's happening with Xana. Now, just remember, this is a fake Franz Hopper. It's a fake Franz, okay? It's actually Xana in the form of Franz. So, however, nobody else knew that at the time. So, Jeremy's infinite knowledge decides that in response to being berated by a bigger genius than himself...
Dad, it's me.
Jeremy?
You know that school for gifted children that you were talking about?
Yes?
I want to go.
Decide to just get the heck out of here. You know what? Oh, I mean, my friends saying, I guess my friends don't need me anymore. I could just, you know, go to some other pet school or something. Jumping to conclusions again, Jeremy. You're the reason why I didn't like you first season. Look at the one episode I didn't like you in season 1 because you keep jumping to conclusions, and now here you are jumping to conclusions again. What the heck, Jeremy? I thought you were above that now. You know your friends are right there, like, with you. Your friends, literally, like, just the moment before you called your dad, you know, to say, hey, I want to move to this other prep school or something. You have a photo of a drawing of your friends that Odd himself drew that snarky Ulrich was saying that took him a long time to actually make because, you know, Odd and, you know, concentrating. Lol. Come on. But, yeah, Season 2, not as crazy as Season 1, but at least, like, all of the important story bits were a thing. Not much like, absolute awesomeness happened in there, but some really good stuff happened there. But that is it for my Season 2 video. So anyway, see you guys later for Season 3. Before we continue Season 3, now Season 3 is the shortest season in the series. So I'm also going to start off the next video with the origin episode, Xana Awakens, which is not part of any season, and because I believe it actually starts out before Season 3. It aired chronologically just before then. And then we'll into Season 3. But then again, Season 4 is the longest, which I don't know how long that would take. They may take another couple of months. But for right now, that is it for now. See you guys later for Season 3, whenever that shows up. I'm not promising when that's going to happen. For all I know, it's going to happen in July.